So let's talk about expectations for a moment. You know, for quite a while, actually many years of my life, and it's not something I really like talking about, to be honest with you, but I'm going to share it with you because I'm speaking to somebody out there, and it may very well be you. I don't know. But when I was going through, I went through a change, and what I was struggling with was my self-worth and how I was feeling with people who were nasty and gnarly and rude and bullish and bullies. And I think there's an expectation that is in the world right now. It certainly has been in mine, and it was of myself as well. I'm going to be totally honest about that. But when I finally made a decision to push back or draw my very first boundary on somebody treating me horribly, and I'm not just talking about somebody having a bad day, I'm talking about somebody with ill will and intent. I think there's this expectation that we have in our minds that once we take that first action, we're going to be fine. We're going to be okay. Life is going to be grand. The villagers are all dancing in the streets in celebration, right? The reality is it's not that. It really isn't. When you are learning and you're adapting to a whole new way of life after taking command of your world, I remember the first time I set a boundary and I stood by it. I had a manager that I was working with that in front of my boss, who was a bigger boss than her, there was something that I needed to do, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a corporate directive, and I was running around trying to get everybody to finish up doing whatever it was. I can't remember. It was some policy change, and there was a sign off or something like that. It's not uncommon. Anyway, as I was talking to him, I was giving him an update on where we were with the compliance sign off. And she had come up, she started eavesdropping into the conversation. She just kind of walked right into it. And she turned around, she looked at me, she goes, "God, you're just a real Nazi, aren't you?" And I fired back. I did it without even thinking about it. And I said, "Don't you ever call me that again." And this is a person that was constantly manipulating me, was playing other people against me, right to my face, and I would never do anything about it because that person had some weird power, right? I was afraid of losing my job. There was all this stuff that was going on in my head, and it was a value statement that I had. And the value statement in my mind is that I wasn't a value. It was the craziest thing. And for a long time, I have no idea why I even allowed that to go on. But the minute she crossed that line, I just looked at her and said, "Don't you ever call me that again." And I said it right in front of the most powerful leader in my infrastructure at that time. And she was aghast. She took a step back. She couldn't believe what I just said. But I remember walking away. I wasn't over elated about what I did. I wasn't underwhelmed by anything. I had this really, albeit brief, neutral peace about what I did. And I honestly believe that moment was the very first moment that I started becoming more of an advocate for myself. And I'm going to be honest with you, it took me at least another 15 years minimum to get to where I am today. So I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of healing when it comes to dealing with difficult personalities. We are so fortunate to have a life here in this world. However, it is going to take us through our paces big time. And so I think some people will have this expectation that when they start standing up for themselves, the whole world is going to be great. The reality is that you got a lot of healing to do, and you have a lot of forgiving of yourself. And that's where the healing honestly starts. So if you're dealing with somebody and you started to take that very first step, because once you start taking a step and you can stand up to somebody who's treating you poorly, you're going to have to still deal with the rest of your life, meaning that you're going to have to show up to work and you're going to have to lead at some point in time. You're going to have to show up to work and you're going to have to do what it is that you do. You're going to go to your social events. You're going to go to your kids' events, and somebody else is going to be a real jackass, and you're going to have to stand up, and then you're just going to have to lead your way through that again. This is all about leading yourself first. And to lead yourself first effectively means that you have to go through your healing to do it. And I'm going to tell you the biggest reveal, it's going to be a lifetime. And you know what? That's fine. It really is fine. Our lives are like a blooming onion, man. It's like we just keep going down deeper. There's another layer to go through. There's another layer after that. Once we resolve that, then there's another layer after that. And it's absolutely fine. But just know that if you are in that position where you're dealing with difficult people, because this is a gift that I have apparently, and I'm happy to share all this information with you, but you have to take care of yourself, and you have to forgive yourself, and you have to allow yourself to heal and recover. So that's what I got for you right now. It's on the tip of my mind. I'm doing my daily reading right now, and I'm like, you know what? I feel very, very compelled to actually share this with you. So I hope this is helping somebody today. Would love to hear from you. If this is you, go ahead, hit me up in the comments, and I look forward to talking to you next time.